Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So today onwards, we are going to talk about a new automation tool in the market, that is Playwright. This tool is amazingly good, and a lot of companies they started working on Playwright, and it's having some amazing features as compared to the typical automation tools are available in the market like Cypress, Selenium, WebDriver IO, or Puppeteer, like that. So just to give you a background, that you must have heard about the Puppeteer. So Puppeteer is the tool which is actually developed only for Chromium based browser. I'm talking about this. Puppeteer tool is actually supporting with the Chromium based browser, and it is actually developed by the Google. Now the Playwright is the Microsoft, is actually handled by the Microsoft. Microsoft hired this Puppeteer team and from Google, and then they released this Playwright tool. So if you see the majority of the APIs of the Playwright and everything, they have the common API for all the different browsers and everything, and then it very much looks like a Puppeteer, or I could say it's a more advanced and enhanced version of a Puppeteer. Simple write Playwright GitHub, then go to this, and here you can see it is actually under a Microsoft Playwright, and you will see this is a very active community, and they 11 days ago, 5 hours ago also they have released couple of things, 12 hours ago. So they are very active in terms of releasing the things. They are very active in terms of solving the bugs and everything. And then is the framework for web testing and automation. It allows testing for Chromium, Firefox and the WebKit with the single API. You can work with the Chromium, WebKit and the Firefox with Linux, macOS and the Windows. That is the best thing that they have given. It is supporting Python, .NET and Java. So we will see the official documentation. You simply write Playwright tool in Google and then land on their official documentation, their official website, the playwright.dev. And you can see the Playwright enables reliable end-to-end testing for modern web apps. It supports Chrome browser, Chromium based browsers, Firefox, it supports Safari WebKit, it supports Opera, Edge browser also. You can easily automate that with the Playwright. So the cross-browser testing point of view, see the major modern rendering engines, that is Chromium based engine for all the Chrome based browsers. We have Microsoft Edge, we have Opera, we have Chrome, and then we have WebKit. WebKit is used by Safari, and then Firefox for the Mozilla Firefox. Cross-platform testing, Windows, Linux, macOS, locally on the CI headless and headed also. It supports that. That is amazingly good. In fact, it supports head and headless mode with the WebKit with Safari also. That is again a nice feature that is available. And the cross language, that is the one of the beautiful thing which is actually missing in Cypress and the WebDriver IO. That is, it supports TypeScript, JavaScript, Python, .NET, and then your favorite language Java as well. You can write your code in Java, and it's very easy to use. The libraries are very simple, very straightforward, and there are many features are available that I'm pretty much sure that you will be loving it. It supports mobile web also, not app exactly. Native mobile emulation of the Google Chrome for Android and mobile Safari browser also it supports. No flaky test, they guarantee that, because it's auto wait is available. You don't need to write any thread.sleep or implicitly wait or explicitly wait, or the way we are writing the polling mechanism or interval time or WebDriver wait that we used to write in the Selenium WebDriver. You don't need to write it. They perform automatic mechanism for the wait mechanism. Synchronization is automatically defined. Playwright waits for elements to be actionable prior to the performing any action. It means if element is clickable or element is selectable, if the element is enabled, then only it performs the action on it. It has rich set of introspection events. The combination of the two eliminates the need of artificial timeout, the primary cause of flaky test. So that avoids the flaky test, and then it's having its own auto mechanism to put the wait and then only perform the action on it. Web first assertion, Playwright assertions are created especially for the dynamic web. We will see that feature as well. Checks are automatically retried until the necessary conditions are met. And then the tracing, configure, test, retry strategy, capture, execution, trace, videos also you can take it. You can take the screenshot to eliminate the flaky test and everything. You can do that. Then no trade-off, no limits, browser and web content belonging to different origins in different process. It supports cross origin policies as well. Let's say you're working on abc.com and suddenly you're moving to some different origin like twitter.com or your YouTube or LinkedIn.com. You can easily do that. You can work with the multiple tabs, multiple window browsers also. You can open your application and then you can easily work with that. Playwright is aligned with the modern browser architecture, runs tests out of the process. This makes Playwright free of the typical in-process test runner limitations. We will talk about it. And multiple everything, test scenario that span multiple tabs, as I told you, multiple origins, multiple users, create scenarios with different contexts or different users, run against them servers, against a server, and all in one test. Okay, so for example, let's say in Selenium, what we used to do that we have to log in and then again log out, and then admin user is logged in and then we have to log out, and then again we have to log in with the customer user and then check the other condition with the customer user. Here you can easily handle with one single test, with one single origin, with one multiple users testing, you can do that. And then multiple tabs also you can open that. Okay, let's see, in one tab you are opening the browser, login with the admin user. In another tab you can open with some other customer or some other customer user, you can use that. Trusted events, hover elements interact with the dynamic controls, produce trusted events. Playwright user, it's a real browser input pipeline from the real user. We will talk about it, what do you mean by trusted events and everything. For example, hover movements or interaction with respect to move to element and everything. Test frames, Pierce shadow DOM. This is again a very good feature. Playwright selectors Pierce shadow DOM and allow entering frames very seamlessly. And just like in Selenium when we do that, although Selenium also supports shadow DOM and the iframe also, but here we will see how exactly it is, like very seamlessly, very smoothly. It works with the shadow DOM and the iframe as well. Then another feature is that full isolation and very fast execution, because they claim they are very fast, and it's actually true. Not like Selenium and the Cypress. In Selenium, what we do that, okay, it will open the replica and then it will interact with the Chrome driver server or Gecko driver server and then interact with the browser. And then it takes some time to initialize your browser and everything. Here, the concept is different. It uses a browser context mechanism. Browser context means if you search this particular term, browser context, and then if you see the browser context is the environment in which browser displays a document. Document means your document object model. In modern browsers, usually it could be a tab also, it could be a window, or even only parts of a page like frame or iframe also, it can do that. So browser context is the environment in which the browser will just display the DOM, display or gives the document object over there, and on the basis of that the Cypress works. So that's why it takes very less fraction of second, a few fraction of second it will just take it to launch the browser, and then you can easily automate, and perform the action on the browser. So that's why Playwright creates a browser context for each test. Browser context is equivalent to a brand new browser profile. Okay, it is not an actual browser profile, but equivalent is the replica of the browser profile. This delivers full test isolation with zero overhead. That is the main reason why they are less flaky, as well as why they are very fast as compared to Selenium. Creating a new browser context only takes a handful of milliseconds. For example, generally they say that if Selenium is taking 100 milliseconds to launch the browser, they will take only 1 millisecond to launch the browser. Login once, save the authentication state of the context. That is again a very nice feature. You just need to log in once, and then this bypass the repetitive login operations. Like for example, again, @after method, we have to write logout and then again log in and execute the second test case and then again log out, like that. If you have 100 test cases, it's again an overhead for me. So they say they bypass the repetitive login operations in each test, yet delivers full isolation of the independent test cases. We will see such a nice feature. This is the pain point that actually solve it. So the motivation behind the Playwright, I can see after reading the documentation, after doing a couple of POCs on this particular tool, that whatever the problems and the loopholes in Cypress and Selenium, they actually try to rectify, mitigate those problems, and then delivered with the better tool, a better stable tool, I would say. Okay, powerful tooling, which is again a very nice feature. They have given the code generation. In Selenium, we have record and play. It will generate the, you can import the code and everything, but here on the fly with the help of code generation, I'll give you a demo also on this. It generates a test by recording your actions, right? And to save them into a specific language that you want to save it. Either it could be a Java, JavaScript, C#, Python, or JavaScript as well. They provide one inspector also, and then the trace viewer also contains all the information to investigate the test failure. Playwright trace contains test execution screencast and the live DOM snapshots, videos, screenshots, action explorer, test source, and many more. They will give it to you. And it's completely open source, and If you see their official documentation API also, you can just select the specific language, Node.js, Python, Java, and .NET. Let's go with the Java API documentation. You select that and go to their docs. The docs also very much easy to understand. They have given the complete documentation, complete guide here, and you can just simply start it from here. If you're coming from the Java background, we will be learning with the Java in this particular series. Just open your pom.xml file, add this dependency. This is the dependency of Playwright, and then you are good to go. And then you can see this is the example that they have written. They just simply say, just need to start the Playwright engine and then start your browser context with the help of playwright.chromium that I want to launch, and then open a new page, launch the URL, and then get the title, and then you perform your testing, and your favorite JUnit or TestNG unit testing framework also you can use that. Perfect. And then this is the first script. You can see there are various things. If you really want to launch in the WebKit is again for the Apple Safari. You can use that as well. And then you can run in the headless and headless mode also, and the head mode also you can use that. You can record the script. System requirement is that make sure you are having Java 8 or the newer version. And the browser binaries like Chromium, Firefox, and the WebKit, it works on different other 3 platforms like Windows, Mac OS, and the Linux. You should have these binaries. We will see how to download these binaries and everything, and then simply use Java 8 and greater than Java 8, it will work with that. Okay, with Windows, work with Windows subsystem. For Linux, Mac OS also it works. For Linux also it works absolutely fine. They provide a lot of command line tooling also. You can execute, you can launch a browser, a lot of things you can do with the command line CLI version also they give that. Then this is the code that I will show you. If you see this is the Eclipse code, and you just need to add a dependency, create one Maven project, add a dependency, and this is the main method that I have written. It's very simple. This is the playwright.create, start the Playwright server. Just like we have a Chrome driver server and the .exe and the binary exe in Selenium, same thing we have playwright.create. Make sure that the Chromium binary is already available on your system. That I'll show you how to launch it. And once it is done, then it's within a second, it will just open the browser and then it will just execute your test cases. So for example, I'm launching simple google.com. So first you get your browser context. From the browser context, you go to the page context. From the page context, you enter the URL, just like we have driver.get method. Here we have page.navigate method. You get the title, page.title, and then type. It supports different types of locators also. It supports XPath, CSS, text, and there are various different other types of locators also. It supports that. I'll show you those locators as well. And then you click on it, and then let's say you want to take the screenshot, close your browser context, and then close your Playwright server as well. So let's run it and let's see. I quickly run this. We will see one by one later on when we start the first coding session with the Playwright. But here you can see the Chromium is getting open. It will open google.com, enter the value, close, and that's it. And you can see the Google is getting printed on the console. So if you notice one thing, let's see if I'm not closing the browser.close and the playwright.close, just let it be open like that. And simple run it once again. You notice that instead of opening the Google Chrome, see this is my Google Chrome, this is my Chromium binary is getting open. Here you can see that it's opening Naveen AutomationLabs, and you can see the color is changed. This is called Chromium. Okay, so Chrome is based out of Chromium. Just like that, you can execute other browsers also. Instead of Chromium, you want to use a WebKit, that also you can use it here. For example, let's see, I want to run it in the headless mode. You simply pass a true here, and that's it. When you run it again, it will not open the browser. It will be executing in the headless mode. So this is just a demo script that I have written, but I'll explain you one by one and see so fast it is printing the Google title on the console. If you want to use some other browser, you can use it. For example, instead of Chromium, I'll say, okay, fine, playwright.webkit. WebKit used for the Safari. WebKit is an engine used by Apple Safari, and then you run it in the headless mode. Let's see it is working or not. The problem with the WebKit, with the Selenium, it does not support that with the headless mode, but here it is actually supporting that. So first it will download the binary, and then you can see the Google is getting printed on the console. Perfect. Same thing you can check with some other Firefox also if you really want to check that. So see Firefox launch with the headless mode or without headless mode. So let's see, I'm making it false here. I want to launch the Firefox. So let's run it again. And then I'll tell you one more important feature, what exactly these people they have done. See, you can see the Firefox binary is getting opened. Here you can see that here, see, nightly build. Okay, so they call the Mozilla Firefox nightly build, and then you can see the page is getting opened. Another than that, I'll tell you one interesting thing. What happens in Selenium, WebDriver or Cypress? For example, let's see we have a Chrome 98 version. After 15 days, or let's say after 1 month, 99 is available. What you can do with Playwright, okay, I'm talking about PW means with Playwright what you can do is this 99 is the beta version will be released first. Okay, the beta version is already not will be given will be officially available in the market. After 99 beta, this 99 actual version will be available. You can execute your test cases. So for example, you can execute your test cases on 99 beta before releasing it. That is a beautiful thing that they have given. So let's see, tomorrow you have 100 test cases, and then you can easily certify your 100 test cases, how exactly your application will behave on 99th version. You can execute before the release date of Google Chrome. You can execute on the 99 beta version. So if 99, for example, there is nth version, this entire world is running the test cases on the nth version. You can execute your test cases nth version, as well as you can execute your test cases n plus 1 version also, that is the beta version also, you can execute that. This is the amazing feature that they have given, and once after 1 month the official 99th version will be available in the market, and then you are already aware of that how exactly my application will behave on 99th version, so that 15 days before or 1 month before itself you are able to find out the issue, and then you can deliver the product in a better way because you have already fixed those issues on that particular version. This is what they have given. Same thing on Chromium, Chrome and the Firefox, they support all the different browser binaries, they support with that. So that's why it's officially written on their documentation. Also, when you go through the documentation later on, you will get to know that particular feature also here. Okay, so different release note, that is what they have given. The browser version, Chromium, Mozilla and everything they are supporting. The version also tested against the following stable channels, Chrome 99 and this, and see the Chromium 100 they also support. Mozilla 96, which will be there in the market after some time, but they support up to Chromium 100 here like this. And then there are other things, auto wiring, API testing with respect to REST API and all such thing. We will see that. Test your server API, awaiting the API test, and then you can write your API test cases as well here. You can put the headers and then get the response, send the request and everything, that you can do that. And good thing is that same example you will see in Node.js also, Python also. If you really want to write your code in Python, that also you can write it. So they have very beautiful documentation with respect to Python as well. So amazing feature, guys. It's very simple to install also. See, this is the Python code. This is what they have written here. Okay, so screenshots and everything, videos also you can take that. You can easily integrate with the different CI/CD pipeline, Docker container, Selenium grid also you can do that, and the continuous integration with CI/CD pipeline also you can easily integrate with Jenkins, Circle CI or other CD tools available in the market. You can easily do those things as well. Now I'll show you their CLI documentation. Let's see, that is the test generator. You just click on test generator. We will see practically later on. Okay, let's copy this command, and I'm going to generate a test on where, on wikipedia.org. Okay, so just copy this. I'll go to the command line terminal. Let me clear this console and then run it, and then you will see that automatically it will start the CLI engine. And here you can see this is the Playwright Inspector, and you can see the code. Can you see the Java code here? You can change the code in different other languages also. Here you can see that other languages also, and the recording is already on. And here you can see the application is getting opened, and when you write anything on this particular application, it will automatically start recording the things. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'm going to write something here. For example, let's click on it, testing, and then press search. And here you can see the results are automatically, the code is automatically getting generated. Let's say you want to switch to the new tab. I click on the new tab, and then here I'm writing twitter.com. See, I'm navigating to some different origin, twitter.com, and then again I'm closing it, and then again coming back and then checking this, the test assessment is there or not. I'm clicking on it, I want to do some verification. Automatically everything will be generated over here, right? And then you will see the script. You just copy this particular script, or you can just copy it from here, and then you can see that here. If you see this main method, create the object of playwright dot create, start your browser context, and then go to the new page, navigate, and then I'm clicking on, see, this is the CSS selector, clicking on this, I'm entering a search and entering testing over here, clicking on search, entering testing, and then again clicking on search over here, and then I'm navigating to a different page. So you can see a twitter.com, and then finally close it, and then again automatically, you don't need to write driver dot switch to dot come back to the main window or something like this. Automatically it will come back and then back to the wikipedia.com like this. You just copy this code and then use it in your script anywhere. If you really want to use some other, let's say you want to use with the Python, the same script will be generated immediately in Python as well. Just copy this and then start using it. You want to generate your script in JavaScript, this is the JavaScript code that you can write it over here like that. Perfect. Now back to, we will be using Java because most of the people are coming from Java background. If I get time, definitely we will see Node.js, the JavaScript version also we will see that. And when you close it, okay, the script is gone, and then perfect. So likewise, the CLI engine works like a magic, and then it will automatically generate the script for you. Not only the record and play script, it will generate the actual code script, it will generate for you. See, here is the example, you can see it over here like this. And then I was talking about the preserve authenticated state. It will take your save storage to save cookies and the local storage at the end of the session. This is useful separately record authentication step and the reuse it later in the test. What do you mean by this? For example, let's say I have logged in with the admin user, and I can log out, and then again when I launch the application, you can automatically logged in without entering the username password, just because of the save storage cookie that you have taken already, right? So that is the beautiful feature that they have given. We will see how to do this, all these things, okay, when we write the code properly later on. Okay, so please try that, and then in the upcoming chapter we will see how exactly it is different from, especially with the Cypress is the main competitor, and it is far better than Cypress as compared to iframe handling and parallel execution, and everything is open source. In Cypress, for parallel execution you have to go with the pricing with the dashboard, and multi-window execution, multi-tab window execution, it supports properly. It supports different types of locators as well. That is, see, if you go to the locators page, it supports all different types of locators, and see this, different types of locators, elements, XPath, everything, it supports that. Other than that, with respect to Cypress, it doesn't have any problem with respect to page object model and all such things. It supports, and there are no extra plugins that you need, just like in Cypress. In Cypress, for every small thing you need a plugin. Cypress does not support cross origin policy. Cypress does not support WebKit with Apple Safari. They are still finding the solution for Apple Safari. Not sure it will be available or not, because Cypress is actually made upon a CDP, that is Chromium Dev protocol, and they are using only for Chromium based browser and the Firefox. But here you don't have any problem. It supports all the different modern browser engines available in the market with different platforms, operating systems. You can use it over here like this. Okay, I think that is more than enough for the first introduction point of view. We will be seeing a lot of good features. Keep exploring this, go through their documentation, which is very straightforward, very simple. Create your first Java Maven project and then try to run it. Otherwise, I'll be telling you in the upcoming chapters how to do that. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching Naveen Automation Labs. I hope you guys are excited. This tool looks very exciting to me, and I'm pretty much sure you will be learning something great, and then you can take a better decision that which is the right tool for me, for my project and for my team. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to the channel, share this video with others. If you have any other suggestions to write, please feel free to write in the comment section. If you really want to suggest any other automation tool also, feel free to write in the comment section. Till then, take care and God bless you all.